I don't care how bad my predictions were on this card. We're in a go-to timeline because we got Sean Strickland somehow beating Khamzat Chimaev, and I'll explain how he did it. But Sean Strickland's the champ again, and in my opinion, he saved middleweight for the second time. Okay, because I wasn't the biggest fan of Adesanya. Besides the Pereira KO, title fights were so boring, and Khamzat Chimaev showed that he's willing to be boring against Dricus du Plessis. And in this fight showed that if he doesn't get you on the first round, Khamzat Chimaev is very beatable, very much beatable. And just what a performance from Sean Strickland. So first off, I know a lot of people are saying that like this was a robbery. I'm gonna assume these are new Paramount fans because I've just been seeing this a lot lately. Fights that are just close in general are being called robberies for whatever reason, and these people are just saturating this word at this point. It's like being called racist in 2026. It's like it's kind of lost its meaning. You know, a term that has significant weight to it. Being called racist, it's like robbery now. It just doesn't mean anything now. You know. But this fight was not a robbery. Sean Strickland clearly won rounds 2, 3, and 5. He outlanded him. He controlled him in the second round. Outstruck him in the third round. Outlanded him in the fifth round. People don't know what clean shots look like. I know a lot of times, like it looks like things land, but if you really pay attention, Khamzat Chimaev's shots were landing on the shoulder, or he was just whiffing them barely. Khamzat boxing was pretty decent in this fight, but he kept narrowly missing his shots. I know they look like they land, but they weren't. And people need to understand what a clean shot looks like versus, you know, a shot that glances off the guard and all that. I think that's why people thought Chimaev won the fifth round, because it looked like so many shots were landing, but they didn't. Sean blocked them, or he rolled with them, and they just didn't land. So Sean landed the cleaner shots. He landed a shit ton of jabs on him, straight right hand. So I don't get the narrative that somehow this was a robbery, or that some people the fans of Chimaev are coping, saying this fight was fixed. You don't know Khamzat Chimaev. Okay. Before the reason I picked him in to beat Strickland is because he went 5 rounds against du Plessis. But I quickly realized while watching Strickland fight, it was because Dricus couldn't make him work. He just accepted bottom position. Strickland made him work, and it gassed him out. And this was the true version of Chimaev. Okay, the du Plessis fight was kind of a anomaly because I was worried. I picked Chimaev to beat du Plessis, but I was worried about him because he has a history of gassing out. Okay, who knows what would have happened if Whitaker made out the first round. You know, we saw what happens in the Gilbert Burns fight. We saw what happened in the Usman fight. You make him work, he's gonna have to strike with you because he doesn't have the cardio to shoot multiple takedowns. He's kind of like Shamil Gassiev. Okay, he's got like 1 or 2 good takedowns in him, and then he has to strike to get his energy back. And it was kind of like a Khabib Conor situation where Chimaev like kind of took the third, even though Chimaev won the actually no, he lost the third round, but he didn't shoot a takedown the entire third round because he was just trying to get energy back, kind of probably what like Khabib was doing. Like he knew he probably could have took him down, but he knew if he took a round off that he could immediately shoot a take down the fourth round and get him out of there. That's exactly what Chimaev tried to do. He shot takedowns in round 4, ultimately won that round, and used the takedown threat to do well with the boxing. Also landed very good kicks. Chimaev was a more like well-rounded striker in this fight, but Strickland landed the more shots, the more damaging shots, which is pretty much just a jab and then like a right hand that wasn't turned over all the way. I don't know what Strickland's right hand was in this fight, but I think if Strickland tightened up that right hand, he could have done some damage to mine. But he just kept looping it. It was almost like a overhand hook that he was throwing. So I think if Strickland tightened up the right hand, threw it to his chest, Trevor Whitman style, but he would have done some damage to Chimaev. But yeah, just an incredible performance from Strickland. Pretty sloppy fight, but the takedown threat is just so huge at Khamzat that you have to be somewhat a little bit reserved and safe and pick your shots appropriately. He did not throw teeps in this fight. That's why I thought the biggest reason I thought Chimaev was going to win this fight is because Sean Strickland loves his teep kicks. And even though I knew he wasn't going to throw them as much in this fight, because if he throws them, he's probably it's going to result in him being taken down. Fighters just have habits, and I thought he would have threw one when it wasn't appropriate, and boom, Khamzat submits him in the second round because of it. But he didn't throw them until he knew Khamzat wasn't going to shoot takedowns. So he finally started to throw them in like round 3 when Khamzat didn't shoot a takedown. It was like in the final minute he started to throw them again. I'm like, yes, because that's what Sean was missing in this fight the most. Body shots. It's why Chimaev didn't completely gas out. It's why he got a second win after the second round. Strickland was scared to go to the body. I think if he went to jabs towards the body, he would have been fine. Because if he's jabbing towards the body and Khamzat shoots a takedown, he's just eating a jab. I think strikers are going against grapplers should shoot more jabs to the body. Because one, it gets them to a lower base in case they do take you down or shoot a takedown. But also it can be a weapon for you. If they go for a takedown, boom, they get hit with a jab. That's damage for you, or you're already in position to defend a takedown. So I think Sean should have shot more jabs at the body, but he didn't even jab and teep him to when he just jabbed, and then every once in a while right-handed went to the body. He's got one of the best he's got one of the best jabs in the entire UFC. So just all credit to Sean Strickland. And as for Chimaev, I guess credit towards him. He looked decent on the feet, but he just doesn't have the cardio. Apparently Dana White said that or not apparently, Dana White did say that after the fight, he said that Khamzat wants to go to 185. So I'm telling you, you should do Costa versus Chimaev at 205. Boom. I think that's the next fight for both those guys. It's that or Costa versus like Ankalaev for maybe like the interim belt. I don't know what they're gonna do at 205. Because I don't want Khamzat to go up against like Khalil Roundtree. I think Khalil Roundtree and Volkan Oezdemir is an insanely good fight that has been made next. One of the most underrated fights that could possibly be made right now. So 205 is kind of, there's a logjam right now. Yuri probably needs some time off. He just got brutally KO'd. So I'm thinking I don't know who Ankalaev is gonna fight, to be quite honest. So I think they should do Costa versus Chimaev next. If he does leave 185, but it's just crazy. But Chimaev at one point, when he was like 27, was a guy where the same week he fought at like 185, and then he cut the 170 in the same week. It's just crazy that he can't make weight now. So just what a weird timeline we're in, where Sean Strickland just beat the brakes off of Chimaev. We're in a universe where Sean Strickland had 3 minutes of control time against Khamzat Chimaev in the second round. I mean, just absolutely nuts. I'm so happy for Sean Strickland because I believe he's a good man. He means well, and he just recently got married as well. He wants to have kids, and now he's a champ again. So I'm really happy for Sean Strickland. I've been a fan of him literally since 2020, whenever he came back after his motorcycle accident and he beat Jack Marshman. I've been a fan of him since that fight, so it's been good to see the rise of Sean Strickland. As for Chimaev, I used to really like him, but I think he's kind of a hypocrite. You know, he talks about halal and all that, and he talks about I kill everybody. You know, he's kind of a hypocrite at times. He was very based before when he was talking about the Gina Carano Rousey fight, talking about how they were complaining, even though Dana made them like millionaires and all that. So Khamzat does have some good takes. He shouldn't have gone after talking about Sean's child abuse. That was kind of weak. I think Sean talking about the Kadyrov situation and all that, I think that's fine. But talking about child abuse, I think that's completely different. What Strickland was talking about is an actual fact. Child abuse is like something you just don't talk about. So I'm happy he lost because he went there. Strickland was the one apologizing for going too far on Chimaev, but I think Chimaev went the furthest. So I mean, that's just my take on that. But yeah, as for the rest of the card, Tatsuro Taira versus Joshua Van was a great fight. We can all agree it was an early stoppage, but Joshua Van was going to land something nasty if he didn't stop the fight. So I'm not the most opposed to the stoppage, but it was an early stoppage. But he likely would have ate a big shot from Joshua Van. But yeah, Joshua Van got a 5th round KO against Tatsuro Taira. It was a pretty close fight. Taira was getting takedowns at will, but Joshua Van looked like JDM out there with his butterfly guard. It was not against Makhachev, but the other fights where JDM would get taken down, specifically against Bilal Muhammad. Bilal would take him down, but then the butterfly guard would happen, and boom, scrambles and is up. Joshua Van's grappling is so good, and I'm really excited to see him against Pantoja. That's going to be a crazy fight because Pantoja is a better striker than Taira. He can take more shots, so I'm very curious to see how that fight goes. That has to be the fight next. I mean, that's a dream fight of mine. Joshua Van, Pantoja too. I need that. But Joshua Van has such good hands. He was jabbing with Taira, but he just has so much more power than Taira. I mean, he battered his face. You couldn't even tell Joshua Van got hit, even though he got hit a lot by Taira's jab. You couldn't tell by his face, and Van just did way more damage against Tatsuro Taira. Taira did well with the calf kicks. He didn't go to them as much I think he should have, but Van he had the crisper boxing, and as soon as he went to the body, it was really cool to see. His coach said, "Go to the body in the 5th round," and he did, and then he got the finish. He started going to the body and just froze up Tatsuro Taira. So really good coaching from Joshua Van. I'm very excited to see him against Pantoja. So great win for Joshua Van, one of my favorite fighters right now. The 125 period on, I love him. And then as for the feature fight, once again, a fight people are saying robbery. This was not a robbery. Volkov clearly beat Waldo Cortez Acosta, outlanded him in the 1st and 2nd round, and Waldo got the 3rd round, because he landed the bigger shots. It's not a robbery if it's a close fight, guys, you idiots, okay? Good win for Volkov. I thought he clearly won it. Waldo's a tough guy. He's powerful. He's deceptively fast, so this was an impressive win for Volkov. I actually picked Waldo by a boring blob Leon Volkov decision, but he didn't shoot one takedown. I couldn't believe my eyes. I'm like, this he's willing to take you down if he's losing the striking, but he didn't shoot a single takedown against Volkov, so that surprised me. But I love Volkov. He's got a personality. He deserves a title shot next. He doesn't need to fight anyone else. He didn't even need to fight Almeida and beat him, okay? Based off of damage, okay? Go to PFL, Jay Elton. But yeah, Volkov deserves a title shot next. He beat Cyril Gane, and then that was a robbery. That was a robbery. Okay, that was a robbery. He clearly beat Gane in their 2nd fight. But yeah, Volkov deserves a title shot next. Waldo, what you do for him? We'll just see what the heavyweight division looks like. He might be fighting Josh Hawkett next. Who knows? Because I expect Hawkett to get loose out of there pretty quickly. So, but we'll see. But yeah, good win for Volkov. I like Volkov, so that's definitely good to see. And then we also had Joaquin Buckley versus Sean Brady. Sean Brady just did what Usman did to Buckley. Buckley took a year off to work on his grappling, and it didn't help. So that sucked to see. Especially because he did a really good job stuffing the initial takedowns, but once Brady got rolling and actually got him down, like Buckley had good takedown defense, but once Brady got him down, the jiu-jitsu and the wrestling transitions was just night and day. Sean Brady's a much better grappler than Joaquin Buckley. So I really like Joaquin Buckley, but he's one of my favorite fighters, so seeing him lose was kind of suck, especially the same way that Usman did. So I feel bad for Joaquin Buckley because he's a good, humble guy. He's definitely a good man, I can tell. A hard worker, so it sucks to see him lose like that. But I also like Sean Brady. Seems like a stand-up guy, and is gonna. And I think if Bilal Muhammad beats Gabriel Bonfim, or either guy who wins that fight, I think they should fight Sean Brady next. It'd be cool to see a Brady Muhammad rematch. Literally like 4 years after it happened, so I'm sure Brady's gotten a lot better since then. So hopefully we get Brady versus Muhammad too. I'd love to see that fight. Why do we do Gabriel Bonfim versus Bilal Muhammad when you could do Kamaru Usman versus Bilal Muhammad? Grudge match. They don't like each other. Why not make that fight? I don't know, but that's besides the point. And then open the main card. Bobby Green is in his prime. I can't believe it. Bobby Green is in his prime at 39. Beat the absolute breaks off Jeremy Stevens, outstruck him, and then Jeremy went for a takedown. Bobby Green did his Rhino little takedown where he just spears him, Roman Reigns style, and submitted him. Bobby Green is looking really good. Three fight win streak, Bobby Green. Who do you do him against? I'd love to see him against Alexander Hernandez. Hernandez deserves a ranked guy, but they refuse to give him a ranked opponent. So I'd love to see Alexander Hernandez versus Bobby Green. Winner gets a ranked opponent for sure. Esteban Ribovic would also be a great fight against Bobby Green. I would say Michael Johnson, but he's coming off a loss. I want to see Bobby Green fight someone who's also on a bit of a win streak. So maybe not Ribovic as well. But I'd love to see Alexander Hernandez versus Bobby Green. Both guys who are on win streaks at lightweight deserve the ranked opponent. So I'd love to see that. And then, yeah, the prelims were also good as well. Gautier got a finish in the second round. Bit of an early stoppage as well, but he was going to ground and pound Ozzy Diaz to hell. Grant Dawson submitted Mercedes Rebecca. That was cool to see. It was good to see Grant Dawson not be a victim in a fight. You know, he kind of was the aggressor. He was going forward, looked for the takedowns. Got wobbled a few times against Rebecca. Was a pretty good fight. Yaroslav Amosov just dominated Joel Alvarez. That was very impressive win. Joel Alvarez is a very good fighter, underrated. And Amosov picked his entire body up, slammed him into an arm triangle. Nasty finish from Amosov. So I'm very excited to see Amosov fight again. He seems like a really good grappler. He's also pretty good on the feet too. Quick, has some good kicks. So I like Amosov. One of the few guys that's done well since transitioning from Bellator to the UFC. And yeah, just a great card overall. I really enjoyed it, and I can't believe we're in a timeline where Strickland and Joshua Van won. I never would have expected that, so the fact that happened, we're in a good universe. I wouldn't want to go to any other universe in the vast multiverse. We're in a good one. We had to sacrifice JDM. We had to sacrifice, Sean O'Malley. We had to sacrifice DDP to get this to happen. So thank you, Sean Strickland, for taking out Adesanya at the time, who I didn't like, and taking out Khamzat, who I somewhat disliked. So we're in a good timeline. Thank you, Sean Strickland. Thank you, Joshua Van, and the rest of everyone who won on UFC 328 was a great card. And thank you all for watching this video. And make sure to like, subscribe to hear my takes on literally anything. And as always, God bless you all.